taking the time out of your schedule to be a part of this. We're live on Instagram. We're also recording this interview, and we're here with Stephen Eggert and Gregory Alford. That was right?
That's good.
All right. So these two guys have created a new resource that it will be the best money you will spend if you're seriously interested in making a great cup of coffee at home. It will quickly bring you up to speed, as it has me already, just by flipping through the pages and reading certain sections. It's a great book, and we are honored to be interviewing both of you guys. So, Stephen, tell us how you came into coffee. What's your story that brings you to coffee?
Yeah, for me, my background is really just being a designer and photographer, and so my day job from school has been in the design field, and so from there I would frequent coffee shops quite regularly, and that's actually where I met this guy over here, Gregory, and basically just drank a lot of coffee, did some swimming here in Austin, some biking, and eventually he had some recipes, had some ideas. I had a graphic design background and kind of user experience background, and so for me, I just collaborated from there. So took his recipes, took my knowledge of design, as well as my infant knowledge, I would say, of coffee compared to his, and kind of found a blend between those two.
Beautiful. And so you did a lot of the graphics in the book, right?
Yes.
All of them?
I did all of the graphics.
All the graphics. And
don't be modest.
Book design.
I couldn't design a book to save my own.
Okay. Well, it's a beautifully laid out, and the icons are very quickly understood, and it's minimalist, and I love it. Okay, Gregory, you talk about in the foreword how you came to find coffee, and it was almost like a spiritual experience. You call it an aha moment. Tell us a little bit about that story where you didn't know anything about really good coffee, and then you did. What happened?
Yeah. When I was going through my 20s, got really into coffee, college, and then drinking coffee in Los Angeles, and then here in Austin. For a long time, it was just coffee. It was coffee. There's strong coffee, there's watery coffee, but it's all the same. When I was drinking coffee 5-6 years ago, single origin was becoming more available here in Austin, and there were some key players really pushing this idea that coffee can be really special. And once I kind of discovered, just by talented baristas introducing me to flavor, I took a pretty deep dive into how to get more from that cup.
Kind of deep.
That took me to Houndstooth Coffee, and I can't speak highly enough for the education I received there. And now we're trying to educate home brewers, trying to help folks get the most from the premium coffee they take home from the coffee shop.
Yeah, so I include myself in that too. So
yeah, and I'm looking forward to making some better coffee at home, even though it's exponentially better than the Folgers that we were using for years when we first got married. In the foreword, I'm going to give just a little quote if you don't mind, but I'm going to stop short because I want you to tell us about this. It's in a perfect world, there are as many people who can make great coffee as there are people waking up, but I don't believe in a perfect world. In fact, much of this book exists as an argument that the world and coffee making world could improve. Not here to say that everyone is doing it wrong, and I'm not saying that your favorite drink is at fault. I won't shit in your cup. I'm here to say that there are two ways to make coffee. Tell us what those two ways to make coffee are.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer that there is the world we know, or the way we know, and then there is the way we get to learn. I think that whether it's coffee or in life, if you are committed to exploration and to discovery, trying new things, rarely does existence let you down. I think that coffee is the most obvious example of that in my life.
Mm-hmm. And And so I was talking to somebody today, and they were saying just start where you're at. You know, if coffee brewing at home was a scale from 0, having no concept of it, and 10 being totally perfect, it couldn't get any better. Everyone is on some part of that spectrum. And what I love about this book is it takes wherever you are and helps you get to the next level, and then the next one. It doesn't say in a snooty kind of way you've got to be at 10 before we consider you a home brewer. It's just the next thing.
Well, that was actually a lot of our consideration, just around like wherever you are, whether you're already making coffee at home, jumping to the middle of that book, or you've got one piece of gear and you want to get one additional to just up that coffee. Like, where do I start? Like, we constantly thought about how you could go through it from A to Z, but you could approach it from many different angles and different levels of expertise as well.
Right. So what was the hardest part for those who are thinking about writing books about anything? What's the hardest part about writing this book that you found?
I mean, we wrote this book as a passion project. It was a Saturday morning, Stephen and Gregory coffee time. We would work during the week and we'd collaborate on the weekends. And it's a big time commitment. We've had some luck with this book because there's a real need for help in home brewing of coffee. There's plenty of products, but not a lot of education.
Mm-hmm. And that difficulty you mentioned is just like there's so much knowledge. Like, how do you begin to like pare that down? And you know, I thought a lot about that from design as well. Like, how do you make something like this approachable in the sense of like you're coming at it from many different angles, like using photography or laying out a particular way is going to have one type of user. Like the perfect Chemex against a subway tiles and a wonderfully lit house. Like, that's not everyone's experience. And so how do you make it, you know, an authority, a strong voice where everyone can kind of come to that approach from a design perspective?
Yeah. How long did you work on this book?
2 years and change.
Yeah, 2 years, like weekends, just working our way at it and just beginning to shape it as well.
I like the fact that you're doing it because it was a passion. That it shows. You know, it shows you gave specific and particular attention to this. So I would assume that you would consider yourselves coffee consumers as opposed to roasters, farmers, all that sort of thing.
100%.
And educators now.
Man, that's
on him.
That's a title. I mean, you know, you fall in love with something, you want to share it with the world.
Absolutely.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Part of that, I'm 100% behind it.
Yeah. Okay. And so take turns. What is your favorite coffee drink? If you could pick only one coffee drink to have.
So this is funny because I have made his coffee for years. Because he was a regular at Houndstooth where I was working bar shifts.
Yeah.
And so I know what he's going to say, but I'm curious if he's going to say it. So why don't you lead first, Stephen?
Oh, probably not. Like, favorite coffee drink like that I drink right now. Right now, I'd say it's just black coffee, making it over at Clever right now. My go-to drink for a very long time has always been like a flat white or a cortado. But I really kind of moved more into that black coffee realm.
Okay. Okay, so it looked like flat white is what you were thinking, Gregory?
Yeah, I think I've made this guy thousands of flat whites.
No need to how much that is.
Yeah, you know. I think one of the reasons we get along so well is we drink coffee together and we share a lot of the same taste there. I can't drink milk, and so I've always been a black coffee person. Mm-hmm. So I drink espresso, neat, and I prefer with the soda back.
Okay.
And I drink black filter coffee morning, noon, and it used to be night. Now I'm doing ski at night, so that's the thing now.
All right. Okay.
You don't stay young forever.
Let's talk about the book now. Let's see. It's $28. You can get it on groundedcoffeebook.com.
Groundedcoffeebook.com.
Which most of you watching right now are on Instagram. You just go to Grounded Coffee Book, start following them, and you'll get the link in their bio. I mean, it's right there. Some awesome pictures, by the way. of various shots of the book, and that is Stephen's doing. I'm assuming.
There are cool photos from our vendors as well, our partners.
Okay.
And we always recommend, if you're going to buy a grounded coffee book, go to a coffee shop and buy it. That is like our 100% preference.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Don't have one in your area, we'll get you one. Like, we'll make that happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just so nice to be able to build those bonds in that community and like go to somewhere in your city. So we have like New Orleans at Mammoth here highlighting right now.
Yeah.
They've got a great, they actually just won an award from Architectural Design magazine, Digest magazine.
Okay.
But in Chicago and now in New York, we have Florida and California on the way. Texas, they're springing up everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's where you guys are from.
If anyone was wondering, we're in Texas right now.
Yeah. Well, I got my book just recently, and I got it. I'm in Ohio, and I got it from Branch Street Coffee.
Oh yeah, those guys are awesome.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It's one of my favorite shops, and I honestly just got it a few days ago, and I said I've got to see if they're willing to do an interview so we can talk about this thing. It's really cool. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that's so much better than buying something off a website.
Oh yeah, for
Because-
sure.
because-
Especially just that book is a leading point. Like you're getting coffee beans, you want to know more about it. You're having that dialogue with your local barista, and the book is that commonality between them. It's like
Right.
how do I do with these beans to make something great? No, this is the book.
Yeah, and I can even see some meetups with some home brewers who will all bring their book, and they'll compare notes. So that's a really cool thing. So all right, and you guys run the coffee podcast. Good for you. That's great. And you both have personal Instagram accounts. Coffee and Ches. Where's
Yeah, so it's that so Shay, like home. I know this is the cheesiest thing. If
You have to explain it.
everything is a pun these days. It's just the way. It's not very funny. It's just how I think. But it's this idea, like when you go to a fancy French restaurant and they have Chez, or Chez, it's home. And so it's like home of whoever it is. And so I know phonetically and also grammatically it's terrible, but it's an inside joke. If you, it's a thing.
Well, thank you for inviting us all into that inside joke.
It's a whole thing.
Okay, great. And I'm a master at the wrong names to name something. Coffeeprops is just not, out there. But and then we have a very unique name, Stephen Eggert.
Yeah, a little different. I could give you the backstory.
Yeah, I
Born
just
was given a name, and there it is.
yeah, just sitting there. Okay, and so with the remaining time, which is the best sparkling water? Pellegrino?
Oh, yeah. Here's the argument, okay?
Okay.
When you carbonate or nitrogenate water, there's a perceived acidity on the palate.
Uh-huh.
And so when you have big bubbles in Topo Chico or LaCroix, or small bubbles in Pellegrino, the way that those bubbles, which are CO2, and the minerality within the water grace your palate is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And so when drinking espresso, there's like a small to medium-sized argument about, do you want to load the palate with a little more acidity and big bubbles of topo so that you can follow it with the sweetness of the espresso? Or do you want a true cleanser like a Pellegrino, and then you get a little bit more honest depiction of the flavor?
That's more of an additive.
Yeah, a little bit more of an additive.
Okay.
Austin and Dallas, Texas coffee shops go back and forth on it.
Yeah.
I'm a Pellegrino guy.
All right. Well, you've opened up something I've got to check out for myself. What about you, Stephen?
Oh man, I think it really varies. I drink Topo Chico constantly and would never give that up. But as far as when it comes to drinking espressos with a connection to that, I would say it's Pellegrino.
Okay.
Hey, you got a couple of convert.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, hey.
Dude, I love Pellegrino.
So Sean Thacker, who is on Instagram Live, made a comment: Perrier Plain for the win.
Perrier Plain.
Perrier
That's
Plain.
funny.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and just let me pause here. Those of you who are just joining us or have just recently joined us on Instagram Live, and you have no idea what we're talking about, it is the book that you're looking at right now. It's the book called Grounded. Grounded Coffee Book. Let me read the back end, and then we'll let you guys go. The back says, great coffee is grown carefully. It is processed intentionally. It is exported expediently. It is stored cautiously. It is roasted flavorfully. It is packaged intelligently, and it is brewed. And we want, through the book, for you to have this brewed perfectly, as perfect as you can possibly get, without being a jerk about it. So, Stephen and Gregory, thank you so much for joining us. I hope we can join you back up again. Maybe do some more training on brewing. Maybe we can get some demonstration or something like that. But this is enough for now, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Take care, my man.
Bye.
Cheers.